Hello, everyone. So, welcome to a special Women's Day edition of Cyber Talk with InfosecTrain. I'm your host, Anas, and today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating transformation in corporate leadership, the evolution of CISO roles. Joining with us today is someone who have been at the forefront of this transformation, Dr. Lopa Mudra Bassu, a visionary leader, world knows her, who not just breaking through the ceiling of the glass, also redefining how organization approach security at the highest level. Dr. Basu, it's an absolute pleasure having you today. Over to you if you would love to just give some glimpse of your.
Thank you, Anis and InfosecTrain, for providing the opportunity to connecting over this platform and reaching out to the people who are regular viewers of this platform. Now, as you correctly said, that the role of CISO is become very critical and it's continuously evolving. It is evolving with time. So, if I recall correctly, somewhere in 1994,
Okay,
Citigroup appoint Steve as a CISO, and
correct.
he is the first appointed CISO of the world. And after that, so many changes going on because IT is going through lots of changes, right? So we can see that during the phase of 1990, it's a
Okay,
more our technology as tool and alignment. Then if we are moving from that era to next era, that is 1995 onwards, that is more on the synchronization part,
right.
and it is more on IT mediated environment where IT act as an enabler. But we can see, and we are the witness of a major transformation where not only new life changing technology are emerging, it's also transforming the entire digital world in a drastic way. That is 2002. IT is no more enabler. It's actually boosting the innovation, fostering the innovation, and it's defining the unified fabric, which is actually allowing the business to enjoy the boundaryless presence. With that, security also change and start reshaping, emerging as a support function. And today, security is actually a frontline function cutting across the vertical and true in a true sense fostering the innovation, because without security you cannot do innovation.
That really sounds interesting because the way you have briefed it out, it's very interesting. It gives an idea from where it actually started up and where it's actually heading these days, and how this technology becoming these days so important. So we really like the way you have explained this in a very crisp form. But with this, there's a lot of curiosity comes to the generation and the young people as well to understand about your personal journey as a leadership philosophy, because we have seen you at many places coming up with your expertise and experiences of your life. So, in your journey of technical experts with them as well to strategize the leaders, what's the most unexpected lesson that you have actually learned these years?
First of all, yes, it is a women day special, but when we actually going through a professional phases, right?
Yep.
So I think most important is the competency there rather than the gender. The learning curve is very important. As you very rightly mentioned, that unexpected lesson. I believe that unexpected lesson is not that you are always learning because you are encountering some situation or going through some situation. It's always better to keep your eye and ear open, look at the surrounding and learn from that. And it's actually help us to quickly learn and implement, and also in case we are failing, quickly revoke and restore the situation. So, yes, learning is a continuous process, and uh, I would say that it is not unexpected, but it is a process and part of the life. If we are not learning, we are not able to sustain. That is the first learning in cybersecurity field. We, you cannot think that I will hold a master degree and some of the certification and then I will continue rest of my life in cyber. That is not going to happen. Every day you need to learn, and every day is a surprising day or could be a surprise waiting for you. So basically, I would say look for the lesson and challenges around you and learn from that. That is the first learning I have learned in an unexpected way. So, we can have a better control over the situation. Prioritize the thing through a effective collaboration and communication. You cannot sit in isolation in an imaginary world or imagine this is the priority of the organization. No, it won't work. Every day, priority keep changing, and we need to also reprioritize our thing according to business need. Then I would say prioritize the things based on the facts or figure you have, because you also run a function that cut across the different vertical. So we need to also consider the facts and figure there and do a very good homework. Put more time in strategy than execution. That is actually help us to have a better control over the environment. Delegate the things, and when you delegate, oversee that. Don't monitor and try to give a kind of guidance in every step. Person may have a better way to perform that. So give an environment to flourish and allow them to perform based on their talent. uh, yes, one of the most important thing is when you are onboarding talent, don't compromise anything. That is the key, because human factor is the key differentiator in the cyber, right? So while onboarding somebody, just don't go by a kind of certain checklist and complete that hiring. It is more on that, understand your requirement down the lane, how this requirement going to change, how this the current hiring, what you are doing, how you are going to enable that person on their journey within the organization. Accordingly, spend time with the person. It is sometimes we may feel we may encounter situations where people say that I don't have time, so I have not go through your resume. Can you please tell me about yourself? That is not correct thing. We need to respect the people sitting on other hand. It's our job to identify that. So respect, build that respect and trust from the first interaction. So these are a couple of learning I have and had with me apart from my domain learning.
With this, we wanted to just uplift a little bit more into this domain to understand about the CISO metamorphosis. Why I'm saying this? Why? Because it really gives an idea about what actually happened in these days now. Why? Because if I'll just ask you, how does the conversation in board meetings change from how secure we were, or how secure we, to how does security enables our business growth? That really gives an idea to us to understand how really things are going on. So we would surely love to know how you explain this point to our viewers.
CISO is a very new C-suite role, and till this role is going through the lots of changes. Coincidentally, majority of the CISO is actually coming from the IT domain or compliance domain, and they are also going through a kind of transformation. It's a journey of transformation. We are on that point only. So when it is coming to the CISO role, it is not sharing certain report in 10-15 minutes with board. First of all, we need to understand what is the board expectation. So there are different type of CISOs. CISO appointed by board, reporting to board, presenting to board. So that is the highest level of maturity. Second is there is a regulatory requirement. So there is a time window given to the CISO to present certain data in front of board. That is the second arena. Third is that a CISO may be reporting either to CIO or CEO or CFO, and they are rolling back to board. So based on that, how you are going to build the relationship, right? That is depends. Now, there are different level when we are communicating with the C-suite peer, the kind of data we are giving them is completely different what we are going to demonstrate to board. Board is a non-executive director, whereas C-suite executive or executive appointed executive director. So we need to understand the difference on that way, and while presenting, keep the facts and figures ready. Also know the operational area of that. In case any questions is coming, you need to have a proper response for that. Keep the thing short and sweet, but not always sweet. Wherever required, you need to raise the flag. While raising the flag, please don't create a panic. It may have a reverse impact on CISO and CISO's function. So what you need to present it, identify what you need to present them, what their expectation, and accordingly you need to do that, because every organization is not same. Even organization in a same domain is completely different culturally, behaviorally from another organization. So first learn the organization, understand the pulse of the organization, and accordingly start communicating. And we need to be very importantly understand that presenting board or reporting board doesn't going to resolve every problem. First of all, we need to build a relationship apart from the board meeting with the board member, with the community we are continuously working with, and build their trust and act as a trusted advisor for them, and then start driving it. And always have a solution with you. When you have a problem, come with a solution. Don't say that I will go back and find out the solution and come. No, it will not work at all. Come with the solution A, B, C.
Really interesting, Dr. Lopa. Dr. Lopa, one more thing we wanted to know, because which we have seen and observed, I mean, we have been observed many times that many CISOs struggle with transition from technical experts to business leaders. What's your moment in bridging this gap?
So basically, as we know, most of the CISOs are coming from the technology domain, right? And
Right.
this security domain is such a domain, it is always driven by this jargon. So
True.
first thing you need to shift in your CISO role, avoid the
Okay.
jargon, speak a language which your peer understand, your board understand, your C-suite understand.
Right.
Secondly, come out with from the myth that board does not understand security. If board
Hmm.
doesn't understand the security, why they are funding the function, why they are hiring the CISO?
Right.
So they have an understanding. So gap is from both the sides. So as a CISO, we need to take a proactive approach and extend our hand to mitigate that gap. For that, we need to build a trust relation. As I said, that talk to the members beyond the meetings. That is most important.
Okay.
And when you are talking, don't always, come with functional issues or challenges. Sometimes you need to talk beyond that
Hmm.
to build a relationship. Don't over communicate. Also, don't
Okay.
under communicate. Communicate the amount of data you need to, share. And don't fear about the uncertainty and doubt. Most of the cases, people have a kind of, if we are connecting with certain set of people, they may have a question, they may have queries, so that may going to impact, that may going to take more time, right?
Okay.
But that is one thing we need to understand. Also, what a board or a C-suite expectation from a CISO, they are
Hmm.
expecting a consummate executive, not a technical person sitting on the decks and working, right? They are looking for a global savvy, not a tech savvy.
Okay.
Tracking the new direction, guide the business towards the desired endpoint to achieve the business goal. Don't act as a showstopper to stop everything. You are there to enable and demonstrate that behavior. That will help you to mitigate that break gap.
That's
It's not,
really
over a day or a month you are going to develop that. It's a complete behavioral aspect. So it will take time. Take your time and start practicing that.
hmm. You need to be the people's leader, because you need to convince a lot of people out there. You know, to make everybody on the same aligned platform where everybody should take the things. But also, as we have seen in today's digital age, how I mean, how we or how do you balance innovation with security, especially when these two seems to be on the odds?
I have a different view on that. As I
Yeah.
mentioned at the beginning of the discussion, security is the one fostering the innovation within the organization in a true
Hmm.
sense.
Okay.
Balancing innovation and security uh, is a cornerstone of a success for the organization. You may innovate something which is dangerous. Nobody is going to purchase that, right? Nobody is going to adopt that. Also,
Exactly.
if you are growing something to use by your internal team, also, end of the day, security matters, compliance matters. The way breaches are increasing, everything is increasing. We need to rethink the way we are
Hmm.
working. Control cannot be, plugged after delivering the entire cake.
Okay.
So we can see that the layer cake, right? 1, 2, 3 layer cake. So like that, if we see that we cannot put the security on the top with a stick, we need to inject the security and risks in the vein of the organization culture. So people start thinking from that point of view. So when the thought process start for the innovation, they must think about the security, privacy. That is by default. And be aware about the organizational activity. It is not that,
Okay.
somebody is building something and then you just wait, you and your team just wait when they are going to call you. No,
Hmm.
be aware what is going on. If you think that this is the new thing, step ahead, talk with those people, understand what they are doing, and you plug your component there itself.
True.
That's
That's really
how
true.
I think, we can breach that gap.
Sounds very interesting. But there's another thing that we wanted to understand from you, because that's you could be the best person to give us an idea about that. That's women leaders in cybersecurity. We have been talking a lot about these days about this, and we have seen a lot of them coming on platform. One of amongst one of them, we are right now having the famous person with us, Lopa with you, because that's how we see the presence you people have actually presented in the society. So, with a quote, I would love to ask something from you. They say you can't be what you can't see. So, who were the female role model that inspired your journey, and how you are paying, actually looking forward to and paying for that?
I have studied my journey in the field of information security. Those days it called IT security
Right,
in
right.
2004. And
Okay.
most of the organization don't have a security function itself.
True. That's very
And
true.
that time, most of the organization in a phase that they are forming the security function. So that is the time I was part of a IT team, and then I felt that security would be the next critical thing for the organization, and it's best time to step inside the security. So as I don't believe that when I need to look at somebody,
Mhm.
that person needs to be a woman. I need
Okay.
to look at the role model or icon who is having that experience, already traveled through that journey, having a successful track record.
Mm.
So it is more a general neuter. Yes, you're right. You cannot be what you cannot see. But same time, we need to also know, understand that somebody first time actually walking through that path. But I'm lucky. Before I came to this industry, as I said that the first CISO is appointed in 1994.
Right.
I think those days we are nowhere in the industry. We are
Absolutely true.
starting those days, right? So already people actually travel through that path. I am more looking based on a certain set of competency I want to develop. I'm looking at them, and as the security field is going uh, to shape that time, I'm also looking to some of the industry leaders who are not in security, like somebody who is already a very successful chief risk officer, or somebody who is very successful chief financial officer. Those people, connecting with them, understand their domain, understand their journey. Actually, those inspired me. Also, there are people who have already built a successful career as a CISO or security head. Actually, I look at them and start working towards
That's
that.
interesting. That's interesting. Also, when we talk about the complex threats, that it also gives me an inspiration to ask this question to you, because we have seen you solving a lot of complex strategies and problems during your performance in infosec. So in your experience, what makes diverse security team more effective at tackling complex threats?
Yes, diversity is a must for security, I would say. The
Yeah.
reason is that we are always operating with uncertainty, right, around
Right.
us. We
Very
don't
true.
know from where the attack is coming and who is crafting that attack.
Exactly.
So, you know, we agree or disagree, but truth is that there are different gender, and
Hmm.
they have a different uh, thought process, that is because of their behavioral aspect, right?
Right.
So when we talk about the inclusiveness, it is not only gender inclusion, it's a regional inclusion, it's
Hmm.
a certain specially enabled inclusion.
Okay.
So if we have all this kind of inclusion in a team, it's
Hmm.
exponentially going to boost your capability, because that is bringing a different thought process within your
Correct.
strategy, within your execution. Everybody thinking in a different way to achieve the same goal, and they are continuously giving you input, right? So you are actually addressing those uncertainty coming from unknown attackers. When you have a proper inclusion,
Hmm.
inclusion, as I said, please don't consider inclusion as a two gender, male female. Basically, we have a three gender created by the supreme power, and
Right.
these three gender are equally equipped, and we should foster them, nourish them, allow them to become a great contributor to boost the organizational security or overall
Correct.
country security when it is coming specifically to cyber. Same way, when it is coming to some of the people have certain special enablement, they have their way to provide the input to this
Hmm.
entire different regional area have a different way, cultural way, that actually shaping their thought process. So bring those regional flavor across the world. It is going to give you a better security.
I mean, this is absolute learning for everybody these days, as far as you mentioned, Dr. Lopawa, because this gives an idea that the more number of diverse people we'll have in our team or in our table, we'll have broader aspects of varieties of minds and thoughts to discuss and to plan it out in the right directions. Well, because it's
Correct.
absolutely true. It's not specific to one gender. It's specific to their contribution. Maybe somebody is good at one contribution, somebody is good at other contributions. So adding the different flavors together, we can bring a better form of food, which may be liked by everyone. So we can take it as a work also here.
Here, I would like to add one thing. The entire, we specifically in security use one word: security orchestration,
Oh,
right?
right.
So basically, we need to look at an opera, right? It's a very complex thing, but
Absolutely.
a bandmaster conducting a complete composition in a way that every instrument player, every vocalist have an opportunity to contribute their natural talent, and from
Okay.
there they are knitting it and creating a kind of amazing symphony for us. Security is
True.
a similar thing.
I think this is the best example I've ever seen in past days to just explain about infosec and security that you mentioned about the security or customization. That's interesting, now. That's amazing. But with as you mentioned about this, yes, there you're absolutely right when you say that they're not specific to the gender or any type of community or specific people. So with this, we wanted to know what common strength do you see in women approaching cybersecurity that often goes unrecognized?
So when it is coming to the women professional, the biggest strength they are carrying with them is multitasking capability. Doing
Okay.
a multitasking in a very focused way based on the priority. That is one of the capability, inbuilt capability they are bringing on the plate. Or next is, most of the time, the technical skill of the women are undermined.
Okay.
That is a biggest strength if we are allowed to take it forward,
Right.
because it's a myth that women is good in process, not in
Hmm.
technology. Tell me, in this digitally connected world, how somebody can be good in process if they are not understanding the technology? Because that
Oh, that's
technology is the something which is going to execute based on the process and provide you the business outcome and
got it. That's
generate
good.
revenue. So if the person don't understand the technology or weaken the technology, then then she cannot be good in process. Simple
Hmm.
answer. So that is a area always undermined. Another is, people have too much thinking. Okay, if I onboard the women, if this is the shift timing, all this, how she will manage. So think about, when you are onboarding a male, do you think that how he is going to manage his house? No,
Oh,
right? It's
right.
his job to manage it, right? You are onboarding a professional. Women professional is having similar strength, but we are undermining, thinking that how she will manage. It's her job. She is taken a dis, conscious decision to contribute to the industry. So how she is going to manage balance? Forget about that. Let her tackle that, handle that. You focused on your area. So these are the area, I think, women are facing a bigger challenge. And I would like to share some statistic here.
Yeah, sure.
One is women participation, right, in cyber is 35%,
Uh-huh.
which is not uh, good, I would say, when it is coming to the inclusiveness. Today we talk about the inclusiveness, but we forget the equity part of it, because
Right.
naturally, every individual have their own way throughout the life cycle. So we need to also look at that part. We need to look in the equity part, not thinking it's a weakness, thinking it's a strength.
Right.
So that way we need to think about. And I think more importantly, treat women as a professional rather than a woman. And also, don't think superwoman. That concept is superman and superwoman is only possible in movies.
Fictional
We
movies,
all
right?
are normal human being. Treat as a normal human being with due respect. Don't undermine. Be a ally. Try to eliminate the pay gap, try to eliminate the gender gap, try to eliminate the kind of bias human is having their mind, and
Right.
create a very healthy work environment.
Oh,
That is,
that's
and women have that strength to do, but women also have a bias in their mind. So that is the more critical factor we need to eliminate first.
right. Absolutely true. But that's something very interesting the way you have mentioned. I mean, this is gonna be with me by my whole life. That when you hire a male, do you ask him how he's gonna take care of his home? And when you hire a female, how are you gonna take how? But you gonna ask her that how you gonna manage your remaining tasks. So this really makes sense to understand that these are the things that should not be considered at all. The word you have mentioned about the working professional, that should always be considered, because you're not hiring
Yes,
XYZ people, you're hiring a
I
working
think
professional.
Anish, HR need to play a huge role here to
Right.
understand and shift that culture, because labor law don't permit certain set of activity, right?
Absolutely true.
Still we are violating that, and with that we are actually dishonoring our legal infrastructure also.
Right, right, absolute true. I think this with time this share gonna be contribute a lot, because as far as you said, because when you as a person know about the real real facts, real strategies, or real stats which is available in the market, I think more people when will come to such discussions, bring people more awareness about this, and that is why we are here to make people aware about that. They should look for what you are actually worth it, and instead of being getting biased by any uncertain reasons. That's interesting. That's very interesting. But let's dig dive into something related to C suits, because building trust there is also a very key important role, because this also comes into a question that why should I and why should we not? Because can you walk through how you handle this disagreement with other C suits executives about security priorities?
First of all, when it is coming to disagreement, the first thing I keep in mind that the person is having some interest, which is organizational interest, his functional interest. Personally, he is not having any disagreement with me.
True.
So I need to take a step back
Mhm.
in my mind to think that why he is disagreeing. What are the factor contributing towards the disagreement? That is what I need to I understand. Then I re-strategized my thought process,
Hmm.
or rework on my thought process, support everything with the facts and figures. Also, I never give surprise to anybody in the C-suite before sending any report or presenting anything which is having certain component of
Hmm.
a function. Before putting it in front of everybody, I always sensitize that person, stating that this is the ultimate data I'm going to demonstrate. So make he or she aware about that. At that time, the person may have a different view on that.
Absolutely true.
Then you will get that, and according to that, you can make the changes. But also, if while doing that, I need to keep the organization interest at the top of my mind, right? So I
Right.
should not be, I need to be flexible, but should not be such flexible that everybody can, uh, ride on
Hmm.
that. So what is need to be presented, present it in a dignified way, in a respectful way, and also don't give surprise to anybody. Nobody loves surprise. Somebody will give good surprise are always good, right? But bad surprise is not good at all. Another thing, if there is some challenges, instead of exposing it in front of everybody, I always take it one on one,
Oh, that's true.
and try to mitigate that. Also, continuously building the relationship. And at the beginning of the year, when I get my strategy approved by the board, I create a functional strategy, not for my function, for every function, stating this is the expectation, these are the control set you need to maintain. Out of that control set, this is my expectation for you. These are the audit you may going to face. Last year, this is where you are. This year, what we are expecting from you. And always, I believe that, a C-suite person cannot focus on all that, right? And a person from my function cannot go and execute everything for that.
Absolutely
So
true.
I always ask at the beginning of year, I always ask a champ from every function stating that give me a person who is going to help us to execute the security, privacy related thing within your function. For person should be a senior person,
True.
understand your function, understand business, and know the end-to-end thing, and have a good relationship within your function.
That
And
sounds
that
interesting.
person actually enabling and my function.
Okay, that's very true. I mean, it sounds interesting also because the way you said about it's not about disagreement, it's about how you convey your things. Because
Correct.
disagreement starts the way you convey things. If it is getting conveyed in a direction where you are convincing people in all the right directions, it's not going to be ended disagreement. It's going to be ended as a good, healthy agreement.
Correct. See, I'm
It's very
giving you a simple example. Some people don't like a mail reminder, right?
right, right,
So
right.
you need to give again mail reminder. You don't have any other way. But before sending that, why can't we take a 1 minute from our time, call him, or maybe knock his door, inform him that today I'm going to do this.
That's interesting. True. With this, we also got to know that many times people say that, or many says also the same thing, that security view as a cost center. When we say about security as a cost center, that is also because it makes a different image in the mind of all the CISOs and other people who are leading up. And how now coming to you, how you transform it into a business enabler.
So, when it is coming to the security, or it is, if you are not a billable function, you always get considered as a cost center. So, I would I would like to look at that way, that we are building a uh, protection for every business unit, right? And how we are mitigating the risks. That is what we are approaching to. Secondly, build a culture that is very risk driven. So people would be able to understand. Building a risk driven culture is not, always sending a mailer awareness. People may read it, may not read it, right? So
Hmm.
we need to identify the visual, the way people working, the way we integrate the security process. So these are a area which help you to understand that it is actually reducing the threat. Another way is, um, coincidentally, I have worked with organizations where it may not be a billable function, but
Right.
book transfer is going on between the function, because those function are billable. We may not sell security, but the function whom which we are going to secure, whom we are going to secure, they are billable. So
Okay.
integrate those component. And also think about how you are going to strategize your budget. That is most important. Why?
Hmm.
Because you are cost center, you need to control your budget, focus on your core activities and core security areas where you may need to spend your budget. For example, uh, there is a very critical control, access control, right? Access management. Access
Right.
management is having three aspects. One is regular operational aspect of the access.
Mhm.
One is architectural part of that. One
True.
is governance part. And it is
Governance.
coming to your security. My core component is architectural part and the governance, because I
Governance.
also need to ensure the SOD, right? Segregation of duties. And the remaining part, which is a day-to-day operational, it is going and sitting under the IT.
Mm.
So that let that operational cost go under that function. Focus on your area. So you need to be very clear where you need a ownership, where you need a stewardship.
Okay.
That will help you.
That's the last line is really interesting, Dr. Lupa. I mean, very, very true. We really need to implement this in our day-to-day life, which I really feel. But one thing that really comes into our mind also, and we would love to know because since the younger generations are getting into this security information and and the evolution of the technologies we are watching. There's a buzz of AI everywhere. There's a buzz of machine learning, quantum computers, and a lot of things are coming. And a lot of roles are getting impacted by this. I'm not saying that it's get isolated entirely, but it may get impacted by. So, how do you see the role of CISO evolving as an organization becomes more digital first?
CISO role is going to be integrated part of C-suite, and uh, more and more mature professional are going to step in. The
Okay.
person who is having a maturity in their own domain as well as management side also, because you need to deal with the different set of people day in day out. It could be your board, it could be your C-suite, and your functional head and other people who are interacting with you, like your partner, your third parties, your uh, uh, entire ecosystem. So
Uh,
if I look from the lens of the board, I would say CISO as a strategic enabler, CISO
okay.
as a
That's
governance leader, CISO as a compliance enabler, CISO obviously as chief security officer, CISO as
right.
an execution officer, CISO as a value appropriator, CISO as an innovation
Oh wow.
catalyst.
That's interesting. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, we have never thought this in this perspective. Actually, the way you have let us actually think about it, instead of getting into the darker shade of not understanding what people actually understand about the evolution of this role. Actually, this is, amongst all of them, which is your favorite? Then, which role do you think?
Uh, you know, as a CISO, we need to wear this hat. These are the minimum hat you need to wear. Now it's asking a person, your right hand is favorite or left hand is favorite. I need both.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm
Okay,
just
that's
giving an
interesting.
example. Today there is a buzzword, right? Technical CISO, non-technical CISO, what is called compliance CISO. Now, take a very mature function called finance, right? Finance is
Right.
also having a multiple subdomain, like security is having the subdomain. Finance is a function cutting across the vertical, just like security. Finance is a very highly regulated function like security,
Mhm.
very control driven function like security, very sensitive function. One slip, it's going to impact the entire organization, just like
Very true.
security, right? Facing enormous number of audit, both of us. Highly monitored by the C-suite and
Hmm.
external parties. Your entire business depends on that.
Okay.
So when you are having a chief financial officer, do you ask the question, is it a chief financial officer for remuneration and recognition? Is
Oh,
he for daily accounting? Easy
Okay.
for strategic side, easy from compliance side. If not, why you are asking that question for the seesaw? Yes, a person cannot be an expert of all domain of security.
Right.
You may be expert in one or two domain, or maybe maximum three domain, depends on the kind of journey that person going through out his career. But the most important capability is, do you have a learning curve very high?
Okay.
While talking with the people, you should understand the other domain, right? And the biggest quality you should have is a collaboration and get the thing done. Get the thing done by your team, your peer, and sometime maybe through the senior.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, absolutely true. Amazing. Uh, with this, now when we talk about the skills, there's one other thing coming these days: one-on-one fight of technology with human behavior, with human intelligence, with artificial intelligence, and all. So we would love to know from this point as well from you, because with AI and automation reshaping security, what human skills you will become? I mean, really, you think will become more crucial for future CISOs or any other people in the infosec? You believe so?
If you want to, continue your career in this domain, whatever the new technology emerging, right, before your organization or before industry adopt those technology, you need to build the capability. There is no
Okay.
second thought on that. But
Okay.
building the capability doesn't mean that you can be a seesaw, right? Building a
Hmm.
capability can be a kind of, you are a independent contributor,
Right.
can be, right? So when you need to enhance your skill, learn the new thing, you need to also focus on certain thing, which is very critical in this age of AI, or
Oh.
in a connected digital era, is your strategic thinking skill. That is very critical. Proactive leadership, communication, not, not less, not more, that communication. Another is branding. You need to
Oh.
brand your team within the organization. Think about, within your organization, if you don't know somebody, if you don't know some function, why you are going to
Right.
adhere the direction they are giving? So that is very important. Now, you you can see different type of people is having a different way to execute the thing, different way to conduct the communication. So you need to know how human psychology is working, right, to maintain that healthy relationship.
Though, I think this is the most important thing. But as you mentioned about the human psychology and healthy relationship building, this really plays an important role everywhere. Doesn't matter that it's which domain or which gender you are actually
Right.
following up. It plays a great role because that's how we built a good harmony in the team, in the culture, or in within the organizations to make everyone feel comfortable to go through with their good skills. Because then only we will find the best out of people ideas coming on table. That's so true. Interestingly.
Yes. As a
Yeah.
CISO, you are the advisor for the board. You are the advisor for the C-suite when it is coming to the security.
Right.
So to become an advisor, you need to establish a mutual trust. Then only you can collaborate. To establish that mutual trust, you need to have a mutual respect first. If you don't have a mutual respect, you cannot build a trust. I may go and talk 100 times, right? Unless until we build a respectful relationship, we cannot trust each other.
That's very true. That's very true. Building and adding a respectful relationship is something which really needs to be enhanced more and more by the people, and moreover into the one who is actually wanted to contribute more from their own part, for their own personal will. They wanted to do something that needs to be get promoted. That's very true. You said. With this, we at the end to just sum up our discussion today. But with the we would love to end this because it was nice having word with you, such of amazing wise information you have given to us, and it was amazing to listen and also learn both. Because we'll have a quick 5 questions for you. We would just wanted to know on that, what's your point of view on that?
What is the best part of?
What's the
Sorry.
best piece of security advice you have ever
Okay.
received?
Okay. I would say I observed rather than received.
Okay.
Ensure you are available for your team, what may come, because it's your decision and your team executed. So if it is good outcome, you need to
Mhm.
give the credit to team. If it is bad outcome, you need to take the accountability.
Oh, so sounds interesting. This we will just shift to the next question. Complete this sentence. The future of cybersecurity will be for you. What?
The future of cybersecurity will be entrancing for me.
Okay, interesting. And with this, we'll understand about the next thing is that what's one skill that every CISO needs but nobody talks about?
Developing the self-awareness as a leader.
Okay, sounds interesting. Uh, with this, the third one is to understand with you. The share a security mantra that guides your decision making.
Take a risk-driven decision
Okay.
based on facts and figure, keeping the organizational interest at the top of my mind.
Okay. That's so precise to understand. What's the most exciting cybersecurity trends you are watching right now?
When it is coming to the cybersecurity trend, I think the most interesting one, if I need to pick up one, that is the
Okay.
geopolitical
Okay.
situation of the world
Okay.
actually reshaping the overall cyber strategy.
Sounds interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Basu, for valuing up your insights on this. I mean, for this small rapid round as well. If for our viewers, for our learners, if you love to add anything from your own end to the viewers today, special for the Women's Day, the Women's Day, or anything you would love to just add up with summation of your speech, we would love to have from you. It was
So when it is coming to the Women's Day specifically, I would say that, if there is any hurdle, that hurdle is sitting
yeah,
inside your mind, break it.
yeah.
Nothing is, unbreakable in this world. If you want to achieve, two things is important: set the expectation, not for yourself, also around the surroundings, right? At your home,
Okay,
at your office.
okay.
Don't try to do everything.
Hmm.
The way you delegate the things in office, delegate it at home also. You cannot make everybody happy, but if you are happy, you will be able to make other happy.
Dr. Basu, your insights today have been nothing short and extraordinary to all of us. You have shown us future of cybersecurity, how it will be in future, what we have to learn these days, what new we can add to our day-to-day habit and life, empowering business, breaking barriers, inspiring next generations of leaders as well. Thank you for giving your valuable time, Dr. Dupa, and bringing us this valuable knowledge to all our viewers and learners. This has been great, interesting talking to with you on Cyber Talk with InfosecTrain. Until next time, stay secure, stay curious, and keep
Thank,
pushing your boundaries to learn more. Thank you, Maya.
thank you, Anis and InfosecTrain, for this opportunity, and thank you all the viewers